right, guys, we have a new intro here for the Bear Pack. Trey, if you want to pull up our subscriber goal, we are so very close to 9,000. We are 95 away, actually, from being to 9,000. We're going to give away a sports memorabilia giveaway. We're going to do that on our live show on Friday coming up here soon. And then we have the 10K subs for 1,000, and then the 12K sub. We're going to send someone to a game again. Probably not the Super Bowl, but who knows? Who knows? It depends on how fast you guys get us there. But, Trey, you would notice that we are down a man. Seth is no longer with us. He had to take a step back, dealing with some family stuff. So Trey, we love having 3 people on the show. So we are going to fix that problem with this. We're looking for one person each week for each video to compete for $250 on our college football, college basketball, NFL, or NBA video. This is going to be a contest for the Bear Pack to enter. All you got to do is comment Bear Pack on the video or sport you wish to compete in. So if you think you know the best, if you know the most in college football, you're going to comment on that college football video. If you think you know the most in the NBA, you're going to comment on that NBA video, okay? That's how it works. You can only compete in one of the sports, guys, only one of them. We will bring on one person per week to record videos for that selected sport, and they're going to give their picks for the entire week. So how that works is, in NBA, there's usually NBA every night, so we're going to have one person on the NBA show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to have 7 picks. You're going to come on for the NBA. You're going to give out your picks for the entire week. The individual with the best record at the end of the season is going to win $250 for that sport. So we're going to have multiple people in and out every week. There's going to be someone different. If you think you're best in college football, you're going to comment on the college football video. If you think you're the best in the NFL, comment on the NFL video. We're going to keep a running score of everybody who comes on the show and gives out their picks for the week. The winner at the end of the season is going to win $250 for that sport. Something new, something fresh. We want to keep 3 people on the show, so we're going to ask the Bear Pack members to come on and give their best picks of the week. So if you're interested in that, comment Bear Pack on any of the videos you see this week. All right, Trey, let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's get into some NCAA basketball picks and props for Friday, November 17th slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Start us off.
Yeah, it was a perfect sweet victory yesterday for us because I gave out Tulsa minus 7.5 against Jackson State. And Tulsa, they honestly downright dominated this game. They won and covered for us. That's because they ended up winning by 20 points. It was truly a no-sweat bet. It was a pretty slow game at first. Tulsa, they jumped out to a 6-0 lead and then didn't score for, I feel like, the next 12 minutes. But then at the end of that run, it was still only 7-6 for Jackson State, and then Tulsa just turned it up after then. So it was a great game.
Yeah, Trey, 1-0 for myself as well. Wright State. Remember the name, remember the team. I had him plus 12 going up against Indiana. Trey Calvin, ever heard of him, Trey? 27.5 points per game, second highest score in the nation. They didn't have him tonight. That line went from plus 12 to plus 16.5, plus 17 it closed at. It was a huge blow for Wright State. All that kid has done this season is score points for them. And what's Wright State do? They go into Indiana, and they cover the spread, and they make them sweat, and they had a chance to win, but they couldn't do it at the end. But Wright State, you are a permanent lock for me the rest of the season until you lose against the spread. So thank you, Wright State. Way to play hard. They only lost the game by 9. They covered the original plus 12. If you took them plus 17, no sweat bet for you. But Trey, let's get into the plays for tomorrow. Start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to be attacking this Quinnipiac at Army game, and I'm honestly very excited to watch this game. One team has looked very impressive, and on the other hand, the other team has looked no bueno, and that good team is Quinnipiac, and that bad team is Army. And because Quinnipiac, they come this game with a 2-1 record, but are 0-2 ATS, and they have wins over Central Connecticut and a Division II school, and they have a tough loss on the road in their last game against a pretty good UMass team by 21 points. And UMass, I got to give them a little shout out. They are coached by one of my favorite coaches in Frank Martin. But this Quinnipiac team, they can score the ball at least with the best of them because they come this game averaging a massive 90 points per game. And even on the road in their last game against UMass, they still scored 81 points. And Army, they come this game with an 0-3 record and are 1-2 ATS this season. They simply have not looked very good at all. They lost to my Marist Red Foxes team, Stonehill University, and Indiana, and they lost those 3 games by an average score of 74-54. Simply put, this Army team struggles to score the basketball, so I'm honestly a little confused why this line is so close. Yes, I know this is a road game for Quinnipiac, but this Army team just does not have a massive basketball following, and West Point isn't that far away from Quinnipiac to begin with. It's only less than 100 miles, so I'm going to take the much better team here in this game. I'm going to take Quinnipiac at minus 3.5, and whenever I was doing my notes, Quinnipiac was minus 1.5, and I was going to smash them on the money line. The line's already moving because I feel like this game is going to be a blowout. Quinnipiac, they should win this game by double digits here. Simply put, this is a numbers game here, guys. One team is averaging 90 points per game. The other team is averaging 54. Give me Quinnipiac here, -3.5 against Army.
Love that play, Trey. For my play today, I'm going to be looking at one of your favorite teams. I'm going to be looking at Kansas State going up against Providence. I'm going to take Providence on the money line going up against Kansas State. Both teams have played one game against the Power 5 conference schools so far. Kansas State lost by 13 to USC. And by the way, Trey, USC lost to the Anteaters in their last game at home by 10 points as an 11-point favorite. Providence, they did beat Wisconsin by 13 points. Wisconsin's not that great this season either. But the big difference in this game is going to be the presence of the inside players for Providence. They're going to be too much for Kansas State to handle with Bryce Hopkins and Josh Dura in the paint. Hopkins is an all Big East talent a couple years running now, and Odura is a transfer out of George Mason. He's had a really successful career. These teams, rank-wise, they're very close. They're very similar, so it should be a really good game. But I think Providence is going to take this game with the presence down low. Make sure you guys tune into this game. It should be a great watch. But I'm going to take the home team, Providence, as my play. I know Trey's going to hate it, but we're moving on to the player props. Trey, start us off.
Hey, at the end of the day, the Kansas State, they did not look very good in their opening game versus USC, so I can't say they're with confidence they're going to win that game. But yesterday, I gave out Deron Holmes over his PRAs versus LSU. I got crazy busy at work this morning and did not have time to look at his line since it was an early game. But I assumed it dropped because PrizePicks had honestly a lot of college basketball props out today. But I imagine he did not hit it because he only finished with 14 PRAs, only played 28 minutes. Dayton, they had a huge comeback against LSU, and he was seemingly nowhere to be found. Best player on the team, very frustrating.
Yeah, and speaking of best players on the team, Trey Calvin of Wright State didn't play in this game. Wright State still covered the spread. So thank you, Wright State. 0-0 for me on the day. Let's move on to the player props tomorrow. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Bear likes this play, but I'm going to go with Tyson Walker to go under his points versus Butler. I may catch some flack for this pick, but I really love this under for Walker in this game because Walker, he has been everything and then some for the Spartans offense this season because he's come to this game averaging a massive 32 minutes per game, and he has turned that into 23.7 point per game average. But I do think he's going to struggle to find his shot consistently in this game. That is because he's going up against a hard-nosed Butler defense. This Butler defense has been legit this season. How legit have they been? Well, guys, they come in this game ranked as the #1 team in the country in field goal percentage allowed. That's because they're forcing opponents to only shoot 30.6% from the field. That is very impressive, and they're turning that 30.6% into only 52.7 points per game allowed, which is the 8th lowest in the country. I expect Walker to struggle to rack up the points in this game because he's coming in this game averaging almost 24 points per game. So I expect this number to be pretty high when it comes out. Maybe even it's lower than his average, 18.5, 17.5. Regardless what it comes out at, I'm going to be hammering the under here. It's a simple numbers game, guys. Butler, they're only allowing 52 points per game. Walker, he is everything and then some for this Spartans offense, but I don't think he can fill up the stat sheet against this team. So I'm going Tyson Walker under his points versus Butler.
Yeah, Trey, you know where I stand on underplays, but I don't hate it. I think it's a good play because last season when we watched Butler, it felt like they were always in the 50s with their games, so I do like to play there. For my play today, I'm going to take an over. It's going to be Bryce Hopkins of Providence go over his points against Kansas State. I just talked about it. I think Providence is going to win this game by feeding the big boys down low. Kansas State does have a couple big men themselves, but Bryce Hopkins has been Big East first team for a couple years now. He should be able to dig deep in his bag and make Kansas State second-guess himself all game. He's been shooting the ball on the team the most with 34 field goals so far, and he's getting to the charity stripe a ton, which I love again, having 21 free throws on the season so far. This is a producer of points. So I'm going to take Bryce Hopkins to go over his total points going against Kansas State as my play. Trey, throw up the graphic. Start us off.
Yeah, and I gave out Quinnipiac. Like I said earlier, I was going to smash them on the money line whenever I was doing my notes. Whenever we were about to record, I saw that the line moved, so I had to pivot to -3.5 for Quinnipiac. At the end of the day, I expect them to win by double digits, so I'm not too nervous about these lines. And also gave out Tyson Walker to go under his points versus Butler. I expect him to struggle from the field consistently against this hard-nosed defense.
Yeah, but I'm going with Providence on the money line against Kansas State. I think the spread was -1. I'll just take Providence to win the game at home. And then I've got Bryce Hopkins over points. I think the big boys for Providence make Kansas State second-guess themselves a lot in this game, and I think they dominate. So I love him to go over his points. Guys, that's going to do it for NCAA basketball plays and props for Friday, November 17th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's two options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube, and it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,